Good evening, and welcome to the Heikadelic Show. We would like to take this moment to let you know that viewer and listener discretion is strongly advised. So sit back, have yourself a nice cool drink or hot drink, and enjoy the show. And welcome once again to the Heikadelic Show.
Ha! Happy New Year, everybody.
Hey guys, Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year,
Evening.
fans and co-hosts and buddies. And wow,
Ringo, what happened to you?
I am
he's
the
the
old
head on the
Monday.
pyramid here. Holy
like the-
crap. Should put your name on a bill.
There we go.
Ringo, what's wrong with you, buddy? What's happening there?
He's like the Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention, be
There's nothing to see behind the curtain.
Pay no attention, be yeah.
Nice. So let's toast the new year. I think, George, can you get us set up there? Cheers, everybody.
I'll
Grab
give
a
it a-
drink.
I'll give it a damn good try. Let's see what we can do. If it still works. It still works.
And I just gave it a dab good try.
Oh, dad.
Ha 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 ha.
I'm keeping it in the dark.
And
I'm being
nice.
kept in the dark.
Good boy.
There you go.
And I want to say hi to Deborah, first fan on today,
Hi,
Yeah.
Deborah.
and Melanie. Nice. Merry Christmas,
Hi,
you
Mel.
guys.
Happy New Year. Say hi to Joe for me, Mel. Happy New Year to everybody there.
Wow.
Everybody.
Hello,
at the
Sandra.
band shack.
Cheers, Sandra. You guys
Cheers,
rock.
Sandra, Deborah. Woo, Happy New Year.
Oh, that's good.
I hope
So what's
everybody
new, boys?
has a way better year than last year, even though we're doing the
Oh.
same thing.
Yeah.
You know what?
Again.
All I could say is last year was tough for a lot of people.
Mhm.
I wish everybody well. You know,
Well,
Yeah.
I hope things go a little better.
Yeah.
with the whole reset, right? They're going to try and wipe out the middle class,
Yes,
right?
yes. And I
what
see
is it,
our buddy,
2030, I
our
think they're
buddy, our buddy's at it again. Tomorrow, everything's going to be shut down again. Isn't that awesome?
Yep.
You stupid son of a bitch.
Yep.
Oh my god. You know, it's kind of sad, but I'm gonna rant here just for a second. So many people are freaked out. So many people don't know what to do.
Hmm.
The media is completely gone right out the left window. And all this nonsense with all this new variant and bullshit. Only one person has frickin' died from it. Yeah, it's highly contagious. So what? It's a bug. And you know what we all need to do is we all need to get together and lick each other's faces, and everybody needs to get it so our immune system can fight it, and everybody's going to live happily ever after. You know that? It's
Why not?
that's
We
my
should have a
opinion.
COVID party. Is that what you're saying? Kind of like
Abso-
they used to have
absolutely.
with, the chicken
Absolutely.
pox back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Have
They're
a
making
COVID
money off all these test kits, insane
Well,
money.
party.
I see people lining up outside to get tested in terrible, terrible weather. They're not dressed for it. They're out there. Testing is the stupidest freaking thing you can do. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. And people are getting freaked out for nothing. Once you get symptoms, right? You're
Yep.
short of breath, all that stuff. Then go somewhere and get looked at. But everyone's freaking out.
No,
It's insanity.
it is. No, it's kind of crazy. It is.
Hmm.
I don't
My-
know.
Yeah, my thing on this is, and this is me. You guys could agree with me or tell me I'm an idiot, but every time we get a booster, every time we get a shot, what's happening is it's knocking down our immune system. My buddy just got his third shot,
Yeah.
And they told him, he said he has to wear a mask and stay away from people for 2 to 3 weeks because his immune system is not going to function properly.
Yep.
So that tells me right there, this is all these shots. That's all they keep doing. They're going to keep banging down our immune system. So do you know what's eventually going to happen if everybody keeps taking all these boosters? I'm going to use this word. People can take it any way they want. But what it'll do, it'll weaponize the common flu bug because our immune systems will not be able to cope with it because of all the shit we've been taking. And that's when people are going to start dying.
But then again, too, is this just like the pharma companies have been hit so hard recently with all the opioid cases and stuff that they need to make money somehow to make it back and
Make money.
this big vaccine, making money off the government getting all these shots, right?
They have made so much.
Follow the money trail.
They have made so much money in the last 2 years. They don't need to make another cent for the next 3 decades.
You're right. They don't have to make another cent for the next 100,000 years. But
it's insane.
But they do. Like, think about it. Jeff Bezos has enough money. How many people is there in the world? There's like 14 million or something, or billion.
No,
people?
It's billions. It's 9 billion or some shit.
Right. So Jeff Bezos could literally give everybody in the world $1 billion. Every single person on the planet $1 billion, and still have billions of dollars. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know, man. It's
and people have said that you can get one of these super filthy rich people, and if they just spread their money around the planet, nobody would be poor anymore. Everybody would be out of debt, right? All that shit.
And you don't like he doesn't have to. You know what I mean?
No, of course
he literally does not like make your own fucking money, as they say. But
that's just one person.
That's just one person.
Yeah,
that's not a corporation. That's not these investment companies, the 4 big investment companies who run the world, who are they. When people say they, right? That's who they are. That's what I figured out, Ringo. Hey, by the way, did you hear that? They is the 4 big investment companies that hide all their, try and hide who owns them, who is 4 or 5 big heads of them. You know what I mean?
Could be.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have a question. How did you and George get Andrew in your name? What's going on here?
No relation.
No relation.
Because my middle name is Andrew.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. So that's why when I keep on saying Dab is my beer, Derek Andrew Banks.
Ah.
Right?
Gotcha.
It's my initials.
Mm-hmm.
So Keisha said, "Looking snazzy there, Hikemeister." Well, thank you. Have you guys seen this dress shirt I'm wearing?
Very nice.
Check out the pattern. See if we can get it really close here.
Ours.
It's all guitars.
I was going to say that's a rocking shirt you got on there.
Look at that.
Wow. Yeah. Oh wow. Nice.
And the inside collar and the cuffs are a different color. Like right.
Was that a present? Or did you buy that?
Yeah, no, my wife bought me actually three of these shirts.
Oh, nice.
You might know the company they come from, George. They come from 7 Downey Street. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't. I don't think.
7 Downey Street in England.
Downing Street. No.
Yeah.
What do you think? He's a taxi driver and knows every street in England? Yeah.
He's a wealth of knowledge. He should know this.
I've not been there for a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's a company that makes...
Curtis.
Well, Mrs. Heiko's got taste. Put it that way.
Thank you. I'll tell her that.
Yeah. Nice.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see you got your nice Boo Jay shirt on.
Yep. The old hoodie.
Yeah.
Boys of summer getting closer.
Getting
closer to spring training.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll be with the Leafs soon.
So it looks like Kyle from Twitch. What math is that? There's almost 8 billion on Earth. How could everyone get 1 billion pesos?
Pesos.
Peso.
The math is.
Yeah, I know. Derek's math was off a little bit,
Hey,
but
the only math
that's
I know
okay.
is like 20.
I know what he's saying.
What, a 20 bag, a 40 bag, a 60 bag?
Yeah.
Think of the beginning, the intro of this show is, or the last, say, I don't know, 5-7 minutes as like a plane landing without landing gear. So,
A plane landing without landing gear.
Yeah.
Belly dive.
It just does a skid, and that, stops where it stops.
Yeah. Yeah.
What shirt you got on there, Ringo? It looks kind of
Headstones.
Yeah. Oh, headstones. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a legacy shirt on.
On the back, it says, "Where's my money, fucker?" or "Pay up, sucker."
Nice.
Where's my money? Where's my fucking money? That's what it is.
Well, remember Ryan that we had on from the farm?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Legacy of the Misfits.
Yeah.
They just sent over to the Sea Shepherd in the UK $200 from donations off the album.
Oh,
nice.
Nice job. Yeah. 76 days.
Oh. Sandra's in spring mode. 76 days till spring.
Right on, Sandra.
Yes. Looking forward to it.
Well, the days are getting longer now, aren't they?
Certainly are.
Yeah. All right. We're on the right path.
Absolutely. It's all downhill from here.
It's January. It's been the first cold day we've had, and there's no snow. So,
it's not bad. It's
nobody can complain.
No, I've got a little bit of snow here.
I've got nothing. Just there's like a little bit of white here and there in the grass, but you can still see the grass.
Because you're north of us. You north.
I know, eh? I'm up over the mountain ridge, just north of you.
I live right on top of it because I drive down towards Uxbridge, and literally it stops like around Davis Drive 47. It stops going there.
That's cool.
I see it all the time.
Yeah. I finally saw, I think, your road. It's the 2nd, right?
Oh, yeah. What you want to just tell people like my address and what color my house
I can. I finally saw it, though. It's one of those roads, like you said, if you blink, you miss it.
It is. It's totally one of those roads that if you're not looking for it, you will not see it. It doesn't matter. You can live on it. I've drove past it.
I did so many times, right? You told me roughly where it was, I would drive, and I always missed it because then I'd be down at the next main road south, and I go, "This ain't it. What the hell?"
You can't get there from here, kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
So Derek's in a good spot. He's hiding.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah.
Just like me, it's hilarious. Where I am, I don't know why the address doesn't work, but when I tell anyone to come here, none of the GPSs bring them to my house. None of them.
Goes to the next road up, the main road.
Well, way back on my road still, but way back, and it's right on the corner of Highway 12.
Yeah.
So when I have taxis come here or anybody, nobody can ever find the street. And that's why I always tell everybody that's coming here, here's my phone number. Call me when you get lost.
Right.
It's so weird.
Playing in a place called Butternut Falls, Roblin, I guess that is Ontario. Anyways, Mel, where Mel is, and the address when you put it in GPS literally takes you to the corner before theirs. It does stopped you, does an S bend, and it's literally like a kilometer away from it. So I pulled in and saw that there was this old guy cutting the grass. Right, I'm like, "Is there a party here?" And he goes, "Oh, are you for that party with all the music?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "That's down the road. They have it every year." It's like, okay, thanks. But
Happy New Year, Grace. Grace, see ya. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
Happy New Year, it's Grace.
My can disappeared.
Uh-oh.
It's a dab.
Oh,
it's green.
Wow.
You can't have green.
That's right. It's green, bud. You should have gone to the dark side with George, a black can. That would have been better.
The dark side.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what you have?
Dab has 2 greens, a black, a white, and a yellow.
Oh,
what's the yellow?
Well, I've got another.
They're Radler.
Oh,
Dab actually makes a Radler.
The Kilkennys.
What type of Radler is it? Is it traditional or is it lemon? It's a grapefruit or lemon.
It's lemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a grapefruit one?
Yep.
Yeah, they're pretty
And
good.
that's the original. Do you ever hear about how that happened?
No, I didn't. No. Let's hear. Tell us.
Oh, what? I happen to know. I'll tell you.
All right.
The Radler was invented in Germany. There was a small town, and what they did, they have these big bicycle races.
Yeah.
And they stopped in one of these towns, and they went to the local pub. And so many people showed up at this pub on a hot day. They just wanted a beer, right?
Yeah.
And the owner of the place, he's going through beer like freaking mental. And he goes, I got to run out. It's not going to last. So what he started doing, he looked for something, and he had tons of grapefruit juice. So we started mixing the beer with grapefruit juice and he called it a drink because of the bikes that were all there.
Right.
He called it a Radler, which is called Radler, which means cyclist in German.
Okay.
And and everybody loved it. And he just kept making those, and it just stuck. And there we go. That's how the Radler was invented.
Cool.
Live and learn.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. I got something. This is weird. Okay. You're all sitting, right? Can you all lift your right foot? Is everybody in a position to lift your right foot? People at home, yes, you. Try this. You're sitting. Lift your right
foot.
Lift your right foot. Now move it clockwise. That would be to the right. Right?
Okay,
so move it clockwise. Now I'm gonna make your foot turn the other way, okay?
No, you're not.
Yeah. Draw a 6 with your finger.
Oh, fuck. That was weird.
Yeah.
As soon as I did, my foot followed the 6.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
My foot's connected to my finger.
Yeah, it is. So you didn't know that, did you?
Yeah. That's pretty cool, buddy. You're magic like nobody else.
That's right.
No one's ever done that over the phone and made me do stuff with my feet.
Because of playing the drums, usually stuff like that I can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it got me. So I'm like, if it gets me, it's gonna get pretty much everyone.
Yeah. That's so cool.
I tried to do it, you know what I mean? And yeah, it still got me. So
what if you do it with your left foot?
I'm gonna guarantee one thing to everybody who's just tried it, including you guys.
Yeah.
You will try it again later.
Oh,
Guarantee it.
I just did it with my left foot, and it works. I could do it.
Yeah.
But the right foot won't work.
Yeah, the right foot doesn't work. George.
What's going on, George?
Seeing that I was just talking about feet.
Now, how's your backside today?
It's good. It's been aching to be shown since last week.
Yeah.
Poor old backside. It's been here all week, just waiting.
You've just been sitting on your backside all week.
All week, it's been waiting right here to do this.
Well, let's see what you have. Okay. Oh, wow. And look, guys, no green tape. That's the whole thing right there.
Honestly, I have no idea. Not even a
1983 solo album. Well,
I'm just trying to think, is that art or does that mean something or is it
Boy George? Yeah, I was trying to figure that out.
Boy George.
There was he was the frontman of a band for a good few years.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm. And then he's still around today.
When you say frontman,
okay, so it's not George Michael then.
Oh
no, this band started in the late 60s, went through the 70s, and then they went their individual ways.
Hi, Kathy. So when you say frontman, do you mean the man that stands in front of the stage or the guy that drives the bus?
Lead singer.
Ah, lead singer.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
1983, this one is. Still rocking today.
Kathy says Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton. That's a good guess. He wasn't really a frontman though. He was a guitarist too.
I'm gonna say Sting.
Sting.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're gonna have to
Where's
get the
buzzer?
For both of them.
That's for both of them. Wow.
Yeah, Eric Clapton, Sting. But But he is British.
He is
Like
British.
He is British.
Wow.
In a band, 60s, 70s, went off on his own for the 80s, and is still
No,
around
the whole
today.
band split up. He didn't just leave because he wanted to leave the band. The band actually just...
David Bowie?
David Bowie is incorrect.
Or not David Bowie. What the hell am I? Sorry, Billy Idol. I'm thinking Billy Idol.
Billy Idol.
Wow.
I said David Bowie, and I'm thinking Billy Idol.
I can see, but I can see why.
Yeah.
Is anybody out there?
Anybody
It's
out
not
there?
Paul McCartney.
It's not Eric Clapton.
Paul McCartney.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
is it Phil Collins?
Phil Collins. No, it's not Phil Collins.
Hey, George, you're going to wear that buzzer out.
I hope so. I love it.
All right, fans, come on. Who is it?
Yeah.
Let's see
we'll
if
come back
somebody
to
can
it.
guess.
We'll come
Yeah.
back to it.
We will.
Oh, that was interesting.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, let's see who we got. We got Peter Gabriel. We got Genesis as a guess.
Let's see.
Wow.
Sting. John Waite.
John Waite. Oh.
Which Peter Gabriel?
We've had Peter Gabriel. Sting we've had.
Yeah.
Jeff Lynne. Phil Collins.
Wow.
We've had Phil Collins. You don't want to double buzz anybody.
No. Well, you got
We don't want anybody
another
to get double
stumper there,
buzzed.
George.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
You know, it's not like obscure. Yes, no.
Uh-huh. So
That's an OTS.
any of you guys have any cool stories of something that happened or something you saw over New Year's?
Well, let me tell you, over New Year's, like
Let me tell
I
you.
got the most random phone call. It was a bunch of steam and red lights and some music. I didn't even know what was happening.
Uh-huh.
I had a neighbor come over. Yeah, it was a good night for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? What'd you do?
You stayed home?
I stayed home. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. I did too. We had a bunch of friends over and sat there, told some jokes, had some drinks, played some games, had a really awesome night. If you're out there listening, John and Ron, it was perfect.
John and Ron.
John and Ron. Yeah. My two buds. And John's on the show once in a while. He's Dutch and he brought a lot of Dutch treats and really
good
good
chocolate?
snacks. No. We had instead of a big meal, we had finger foods.
Mm-hmm.
So he brought some really awesome Gouda and some spice Gouda. And I don't remember what those things were called, but they were like little meat sticks in a paste, like a dough or something like that. Really, really awesome stuff. Yep. We had some seafood and it was fantastic.
Awesome.
I'll show you a picture. I'll put a picture up. I got a picture of the table with all the goodies on it. It's like, holy crap.
I'm thinking of sausage rolls now for some reason. When he said like meat and whatever, but they're not.
Yeah.
But I had the granddaughters over for a few days, and the youngest one is 4. I was mentioning this to Derek before, and I was watching a soccer game one of the days, and I try explaining the rules of soccer to a 4-year-old who just asks question after question after question after question after question. I don't know where she was coming up.
George, why does he kick the ball?
Yeah,
George, why does he fall?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, who's the team in black? He said, they're not a team, that's the referees. What's a referee? Well, they're the ones that, well, why did they do that? And it's like,
Praise him.
trying to watch a game here.
You're making me laugh because we had company over too, and they have never seen the movie Bad Santa.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so we played that, and then you have that kid, the little chubby kid, who asks him all kinds of questions.
Yeah.
Where are the reindeer? Oh, they're they're in the pasture. Where's the pasture? Or right beside the station where the sled's getting fixed. How do they sleep?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Stop about the frickin' reindeer!" And then the next scene, he goes, "What are their names?" Just, you just want to beat them.
Dasher and Dancer and Prancer. Yeah.
So Roger Waters, no.
Roger Waters. But it's a good guess, though.
That's a great guess.
Yeah, it's a good guess. Unfortunately, it's incorrect.
Robert Plant.
Robert Plant.
Robert Plant. Let's see what we got here for Robert Plant. It is actually Robert Plant.
Is it really?
It is, yeah. It's Robert Plant.
You can't find the right button.
I can't find the right button.
Okay, Sandra, he's going to find the button for you in a second. Wow, good job, Sandra.
Good job. Sandra's got them before, right? I can find you a drum roll.
The puppy.
Find you a drum roll there.
Nice.
So does Sandra win that puppy you just held up?
No, Ringo. Sorry, Ringo. No. It's my little girly. Yeah. Nobody wins her. Look at that. She's almost 2 years old.
I was just going to tell you to mention the guest that we have on tonight. Good one.
Well, yes, we do. We have the lovely Adrian coming back on.
Yeah.
Right on.
We figure we might as well start the new year off with a good note.
Adrian's going to help us probably over the course of time to discover who they are.
Who are they?
Really, that's kind of itching. And last week we had on an interesting guest.
Yes.
Dave, and he kind of leads and has a lot of, I guess, technology around flat Earth.
Yes.
So we had a great show there. We had almost 800 viewers on Facebook, and we had 2,000 on YouTube, and those numbers kept getting higher. So it's an interesting topic, and everyone was very engaged in it. But it really tickled a lot of people's noodles out there, because we had people who were all about flat Earth, and then we had others that were, I thought it was absurd. And it was nevertheless, it was a great show. But what it also kind of led in, and it got me thinking, Adrian, a bit was, when you look at flat Earth concept, and you got to hit a wall somewhere. So that led Dave into talking about other things, control and
yes,
who's really in charge. And I think I kind of
who they are.
This is kind of the Truman Show, right? So there, and he brought up examples where you'd hit like a wall of ice if you went, towards the
like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and there's other stuff on the other side, and
right.
But you know what? The one thing I really liked about him was, no matter if it was one of us or the guests, if we threw a question at him, within seconds he had a video up on the screen.
Yeah, but I tell you,
I thought, wow, that's
what amused
cool.
me about him was the fact that he was talking about the circle of military bases and all, what have you.
Yeah.
And he said, you've all heard of the Falklands, and everyone, And he goes, it's, it's near Santiago, Chile. So I thought, it wasn't the last time I saw where the Falklands were. They're part of Argentina, which is nowhere near Santiago. But
But
there are other things too. But no one's perfect.
No,
but Heiko's right though about the fact that whatever you think about flat Earth, he was very prepared and has obviously researched this and had a lot of there's not. I'm more of a science kind of person, but he got me thinking about the concept for at least a couple
Well,
hours.
And that's exactly it right there. It's the concept. Because I had the one question for him, and I thought, okay, the Earth is flat, right? It's a frisbee. So now you're going to get in a plane, and you're going to fly due east. So eventually, you're going to come from the west and wind up back where you are. That's how planes
how that work. Though, right?
I know, he showed it.
Right. Yeah.
He showed the North Pole is the center of the frisbee or the album or whatever you want, the disc.
Yep. Yeah. Album,
and when you're flying
example.
east to west, you are compared to the North Pole, but you're actually flying in a giant circle on your disc. Right? So, and my question was, you leave Canada on the east and you show up in Canada on the west if you go all the way around the Earth. Well,
correct.
You do. On a flat Earth concept, you do as well.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's the way you look at it.
It's all perspective.
Would you? Because so cool. You're saying you go all the way around the world, but what if you're just flying somewhere that doesn't take you all the way around the world, but just round and in a circle of the North Pole, as you call it?
Yeah,
you can go all the way around the world, right? And it's also time and measurements and calculation, physics. You've got to bring all that into it rather than just having a diagram that look, there's an ice wall, there's a North Pole. The South Pole isn't actually south; it's all the way around. It's right. Come on, why is it the South Pole?
But why is it so heavily protected?
Again, see here, it's so interesting that we are actually talking about it right now, right?
Yeah,
it's just a really cool concept.
It's plausible. That's the whole thing. There is some facts about it that definitely make you think, right?
Yeah.
And
not
again,
not really.
Not really. No.
Not really. Talk to an astrophysicist. Ask him.
See, George is into soccer. Soccer's into spheres.
Yeah. And
right? George says Earth is a sphere because.
No, but it could be flat because this albums are flat. So I'm into those too.
Yeah. And my buddy AJ, who was on last week, he was really into. He actually said a lot because he works for a company that puts satellites into space.
Yeah.
Right.
But
they have live video coming from the spacecraft that they're shooting up into the air, right? And Earth is a sphere or a ball or a circle when you look at it from space, a globe.
Yeah.
And when you look down on it from the camera, you can't see all the continents. You only see the one side. And that's why they're saying flat Earth is impossible, because you can't see everything all at once. And if Earth was flat, you would.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was watching a video. I'm not sure where it was. I don't know if it was a TikTok thing or whatever. I think the term is called helix jumping. So what it's like parachuting from just under the atmosphere, right?
Right.
So at that perspective, they had a camera on the, I guess the whatever brought them up there, because you couldn't really see that. You just saw the skydiver's face, and then the Earth below them, which was really impressive because right away I'm thinking, wow, this is a good case for the Earth being round. So yeah, it's definitely a hard topic to chew on, but nevertheless,
like space station, right?
Yeah.
It's the same size as a 747, but it is 100 times farther up.
What would have convinced me that it's flat was, when Captain Kirk went up a couple of months ago. If he'd come back down and go, "Hey, kids, it's flat," but he didn't.
Flat.
No.
Yeah. And if Captain Kirk didn't have to say it, it
James
can't
T.
be.
Kirk.
Yeah.
You know what the T stands for? What James T. Kirk? What the T stands for?
Go on.
Tiberius.
Tiberius. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know my Star Trek, buddy.
So we're gonna get
know much.
Adrian. We're gonna get Adrian on and see if she has any opinions on flat Earth.
All right.
Would love to be able to get Adrian and Dave on a show some night, and we can not to I don't even know what Adrian's opinion is on it, but we're
well, let's find out tonight what her opinion is on it, because we kind of found out what his opinion was on the governing forces that rule the planet and all that, and it made sense. And that's why I said last time too, they're both kind of on the same wavelength when it comes to that.
Yeah, but that's where I said it's too much to try and grasp. Like, he's trying to bring credibility to this flat Earth thing. And by the way, he does have a lot of. I did load the app, and he's got a lot of followers and app users. So it's interesting. But when you get into snowballing into other, bigger picture stuff, I think that's interesting. But it's just a lot to take in at once, right?
Yeah.
But it gets you thinking about, okay, with Adrian, we've talked about kind of who are they and different scenarios, and where we're possibly duped, and we're just kind of sheeps in the herd. But anyway, we're going to get Adrian on, and we'll see what
she's our truth teller that want to spread the truth about what's really going on in the world. So let's bring her on. Let's bring Adriana on. It's always a blast listening to her talk. So welcome to the show.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I was just like, had my head down, and I'm sitting there listening to you guys, and I'm like, yep, well, the earth is flat. Most definitely. So that
really?
Oh yes. Oh, my word. Every culture up until, recently has known that we've lived on a flat, enclosed system. And from the same culture that created there is a disc. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the disc of life, but it's literally hundreds of thousands of years old, so they say. And it has every little stem from reproduction all the way up, every stage of life. And it's the same culture that believes that we have a flat earth. It all stems from the same thing. So if they were so advanced back then that they knew every stage of reproduction and how to draw it, and it's damn freaking accurate. I'm like, I was listening backstage too. I'm like, I wish I could show you guys videos, but I'm talking to you guys through my video machine. So next time you guys want videos, I will come prepared. But the same exact culture that had that in great detail is one of the ones that really pushed the flat Earth model. It is, well, you got to understand, gentlemen, the first picture of Earth, according to NASA, was used before they ever went to the moon. It was the Universal Studios emblem, the original one, and it hasn't changed. So if you guys feel like doing a little project, if you take the original Universal Studios globe, when they just, guessed what the Earth looked like, and you put a picture of it, they kind of line up perfectly, because it's the same sketch.
Wow.
So I definitely believe in the whole flat Earth thing. Plus, just the idea of language, right? Perspective.
I have a question about that though. So if you believe in flat Earth and we have a dome-like substance over us, right?
It's crystalline liquid crystal. They call it the dome, the firmament, the ozone layer from the 80s. Yep. All of that shit is the same thing. It's like Shakespeare said, a rose by any other name is still gonna smell. They just
how do you get through it though?
I've never tried.
Because aliens, like the Anunnaki and stuff, who came and visited before.
But if it's dimensional and it's liquid crystal, then you know what I mean. That kind of tells you there we've got to get ourselves back up to be dimensional.
Crystals are you can Yep.
It's all about vibration, right? Either by code vibration, vocal vibration, harmonics, all of that stuff comes into play. And the ancients knew that with the chanting and all of that shit. They knew stuff that we didn't. portal opening, a lot of these ceremonies and stuff that they have, like CERN's portals and stuff like that, they are using crystal and liquid crystal at that. So to think that there is a layer of liquid crystal, you know what I mean, protecting us, well, we know it is because they've been telling us they put a hole in it for years, the ozone layer. And when they put a hole in it, boys, that was during the meeting at Antarctica when each one of the nations shot their toughest nuclear weapons up into the sky and they put a crack in it. That was when they decided that they weren't going to do that anymore. And they kind of pushed back from that.
Who's they? Who's they in this particular instance?
Actually, you can look it up. Every major government representative, this is where you get your UN. That's who did it. America, like every country that you can think of, literally brought their big boys to Antarctica and they shot straight up.
What year was that?
60 or not 60, 50, I believe, or in the 50s.
What year of the 50s?
I'm sorry, I'm not good with numbers, yo. I'm numerically dyslexic, so numbers quizzes probably not good for me.
I'm not good with numbers, yo.
Yeah, I'm really not. Operation High Jump and Operation Fishbowl were the official names of the operations. I'm not exactly sure what years those took place, but those are the names of the official operation.
How come there are always US names? How come there's no Roscosmos names in there? They're always like, Anglo-Saxon names.
What are you talking about?
Operation Jellyfish or whatever it's called.
Well, it's Operation Fishbowl because it's a dome, and Operation.
Yeah, I get that.
Went to the ice walls.
So yeah.
That's what I know about. You know what I mean? The flat Earth and the dome and all that. That's how that's connected with the governments being they. Sorry, Jim, I got a pounding headache today. Yeah. But that is. You know what I mean? Another one of their grand cover-ups, right? They go to Antarctica and they each, you know what I mean, fire off their big guns. And then they're like, okay, we're going to make a treaty that we're never going to ever do this again. We're never going to speak of this again. And nobody can come here without consent after that. Well, obviously something happened there. You know what I mean? And then to have the after effects come trickle down in the 70s and 80s, there's, you know what I mean, a crack in the dome, there's a crack in the ozone layer. Well, yeah, of course there is. You guys just like blasted the heck out of it with a bunch of nuclear weapons. Like,
so it was 62 and it was on Johnson Island.
In the Antarctic, yeah?
Let me find out where Johnson Island is.
Oh, that's not Antarctica. That's something else.
It's not Lake Simcoe.
That's in the Pacific, isn't it, Johnson Island?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, there you go.
Friggin' Operation Fishbowl was when they each went and blasted everything that they had upwards. Operation High Jump was when they went and discovered what Admiral Byrd said about the entire rib being surrounded by an ice wall.
Right.
Well, the other thing about that is Operation High Jump, which was 1946.
Thank you.
Was a task force that went to Antarctica to destroy remaining bases of the Fourth Reich.
Yeah, they never destroyed anything.
But they also captured unique armaments, flying saucers.
Yeah, they actually got biological recovery from that mission, according to, like, when I look at the videos, to me, it looks like a hand puppet. So, you know what I mean? I can't be like, oh, yeah, well, I've seen this video. I know there's aliens. I'm not that type of believer. Like, I still have a lot of skepticism about stuff.
Yeah.
But I know that Aleister Crowley was doing seances and stuff, and the things that he was contacting, he called it lamb. They look exactly like what people are calling gray aliens today, like literally verbatim the same drawing. So that's what I was saying last time we were talking, where the whole extraterrestrial thing and spacemen, I think it's literally just extra terra as opposed to spacemen.
Yeah.
Just if you can picture it like what you guys were saying before about like flat and then extra earth coming down. If you have a crystalline barrier and then a crystalline barrier and a crystalline barrier, you know what I mean? Kind of picture Atlantis.
Like a rainbow.
Yeah. Like well, rainbows in that, you know what I mean? How do you get a rainbow? Well, it's got to be a reflection off of something that, you know what I mean, is above, and you know what I mean. There's got to be something to create that. It would just be a straight line, would it not?
Possibly. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about refraction that much.
Yeah. What I see. Yeah.
My brain feels like it's gonna come.
But it's true though, because like when you see a prism, like my stepmother used to collect crystals, and she would hang prisms up, and they would shoot direct light, right?
Yeah.
The only ones that would bend were ones that were round, right?
Round.
Well, and
it still projected it straight though.
So in 1919, actually, Aleister Crowley sketched out what looks to be a gray alien that he met. So, yeah. So if you surf that, I can actually throw it up on the screen here.
Aleister Crowley, when he brought his, well, I don't know if it was his wife at that point or if they were just dating, but I was saying before how he literally rented out a pyramid. And they were like doing seances and stuff, pulling these things through portals.
Mm-hmm.
That's what all of this shit is. CERN portals. It's
was
all
just watching a thing today on the pyramids, and the underneath they figure were hydraulic pumps, like for water. That's what they stole out of the Nile, right?
Well, there were chambers that were filled with liquid mercury, right? These are the great alchemists. The mercury, when you have something of that magnitude with all the gold and sorry, my brain. It literally acts as a receptor, a conductor of energies, you know, and they were doing transmutation of metals, like turning stuff into gold. That was one of their the whole Midas touch thing. And then, you know, you have the governments and stuff, you know, telling you about, you know, mercury and outlawing all this stuff. But they were literally like using it for everything. Like, and those big pools underneath a couple of the ones that they've excavated, that was literally the whole purpose of it.
To get the mercury?
No, the liquid mercury was to turn together alloys into gold.
Well, I was gonna say they use mercury to extract gold.
Yeah. And that's, you know, you got to understand the pyramids that we see them are not what they were back then. They were covered in ivory and tipped in gold. Like, these things were massive conductors. And then when you have your archways, each one of these great civilizations all had, you know what I mean, their can't think of the word for it right now. That big, huge freaking thing that's in all the monuments. Thank you. They literally would take energy out of the atmosphere and then recycle it and then push it back through their cities. Like, these towns were completely lit up. To think that people were bumbling around in the dark, being as advanced as they were for the artwork and the majesty of their buildings. You honestly think these people were bumbling around with torches? That's just dumb. Like, I know I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, but you cannot look at a civilization that produced what it did and be like, they got there rubbing sticks together. It's like, no.
That's what I fear. We've had some nuclear war or something, obviously, before us, and we are slowly coming back to.
We're the we're the dummies. Okay, they want to talk cavemen and all of that. Honestly, I don't believe in any of that shit. I believe that humans had a much longer lifespan before than what we do now. I believe what they say is Neanderthal skulls is calcium buildup. You know what I mean? Over time, look at the old people that you know what I mean. You know, their foreheads get really thick. Certain parts of their facial features get thicker as they get older. If you're stomping around for 800 freaking years because your timeline is a little bit different, you're gonna build up that same mass in your cranium. You're going to have those defined calcium buildup features. So to say that, you know what I mean, there was a bunch of stickmen and mud people running around, you know what I mean, creating these beautiful, huge buildings that were taking up, you know what I mean, colossal amount of space and precision alone. And and you know, no.
Yeah,
I see
what you're saying. Well, Adrian, one of our awesome fans here is asking. He says, "What was the purpose of Operation Fishbowl?" You know,
Operation Fishbowl. The whole purpose of it was that they knew that we're in a dome. You got to understand, like a lot of the government leaders. This comes down to, and I know, like, maybe because my head is pounding today, I'm just gonna brass tacks it. It's good and evil. That's it. Everything comes down to good and evil. And a lot of the people that are running shit are part of cults that have been around for 2,000 plus 4,000 years. Their bloodlines have been doing this for generations. Some of these leaders were bred for the positions that they're in right now. It wasn't chance that they are in elected positions.
Yeah, I've heard that.
There is no elections. Elections is bread and circuses to make us feel like we have a voice, and we don't. I learned that.
Well, look at the U.S. right now. Do you think people elected Biden to be president?
Oh, if they elected Biden, there's no way. I've been saying that since day one. And Captain Socks is one of the reasons that whole thing went down, and that's all going to come out soon too. Him and George Soros' son Alex. Like I said, they sat there programming the system in the basin in Toronto. And Trudeau is one of them. Sorry, Captain Socks is one of them.
Can you just answer the question that Richard that you're just saying? You've gone off topic there.
That was the point. It's an offense to God. They want to break through the dome. It's the same thing. Why did they build the Tower of Babel? The same thing is an offense to God because they want to put themselves in a higher position. They want to rub God out of existence, and they want their own, you know what I mean, glory to be to man and science. Well, yeah, cool.
Well, that's what our flat Earth guest was saying. He compared the dome over flat Earth like the Truman Show. Remember that movie? It's this giant dome. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, sorry.
So
are you going to make it?
Yeah.
The purpose of
real bad migraines.
The purpose of the Operation Fishbowl was they were doing nuclear testing at high altitudes,
right?
But they did observe a lot of interesting, I guess, phenomena. They actually, if you go into Wikipedia, there's an interesting spot to look at.
When they talk about how they were blasting it and then all of a sudden something jammed up their equipment.
It doesn't. It may say something about that. I just haven't seen it.
It jammed up their equipment.
Bunch of stuff got blasted out of the sky on one of the attempts to send missiles and stuff up there. Literally, like everything was just
wow.
And they said that they didn't know if it was an angelic force or an alien force or what, but something dismantled their stuff. That's happened a bunch of times. not just with that, like oh, sorry, I'm forgetting. The compasses in that too, on certain missions, and that you couldn't get compass points.
Yeah, it's the electromagnetic field and everything that it charted out. Yeah, I mean, they had interesting results, and then it eventually gets into a discussion about flat Earth. So,
the whole thing with that too is you got to understand, like, okay, if we weren't in a flat Earth concept, why is it the logo for the United Nations? Why does the president in the war room have flat Earth model in the middle of the room? Why are all war decisions created on a flat Earth model? Why don't they just have this really fancy spinny globe?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the guys in charge have this shit all over the place, but us plebes are just supposed to be like, ooh, look at my globe spin. No.
So
I wouldn't buy that for $1.
Right.
If you had a table that had a globe on it, you're trying to put things on it, they might slide off, right?
Right.
So you need a flat surface to demonstrate maneuvers, surely. It's a logical thing to do.
Yeah, but
so they have a flat world map, is what you're saying.
No, I'm saying they have a flat version of a round world to show maneuvers.
But see,
otherwise, if you had a globe, nothing's going to stick to it. It's just going to.
No. Here's the interesting thing:
it's plausible. It's plausible as anything else I've heard tonight.
I mean, if you look at a wall map, sure, it's going to be.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You have globes, and you have maps of the Earth, and the maps of the Earth is just everything that's on the ball flattened out.
But it's not.
What our flat Earth guy showed us, he said that the North Pole is the center.
It's in the center.
It's not the top.
And everything. Okay, riddle me this, gentlemen.
Yes.
We're taught that we're here and China's over here, right?
Yeah.
Like, when we look at the map, that's what we're taught. But China is closer to BC than we are to Italy. But on the map, China's way past Italy. Way, way, way. Each country, did you know that the map that we learn on is not the same map that American schools learn on? It's not the same map that nobody is learning from the same maps. I've like looked into this stuff for a long frigging time. Every single country, the country's layouts are different. Where they are, where the islands are. You literally, the only close map that we have that's actual, like, in the proximity of what we are is the United Nations logo, and that is Admiral Byrd's flat Earth map, which is also the same maps that up until, you know what I mean, the Perry friggin' maps, all of that stuff say the same thing. The only differentiation is the midpoint. We were a lot closer in all of the maps from the 1500s on. Or now they've separated everything because they don't want you to know the size of the landmass. You ask, you know, who are they, and, you know what I mean, what's the point? Why would they do this? You want to know the point? Because they hate humans. You got to understand, there are two species. There's two species. And he even tells you, okay, you have the human species, right? Why would we need to differentiate the fact that human species if it were just human? Okay, now you have, you're breaking past stuff with transhumanism and stuff like that. But did you know that O negatives are considered mutations? O negatives, you know what I mean, themselves are alien, you know what I mean, DNA.
Well, that says a lot for me.
I'm an O negative, so you know what I mean? All I'm saying is language is important, and there are more than two kinds of people on this earth right now, and not everybody is all like, yay, humans.
Hey,
we hope the best for everybody.
Languages were made to separate people.
Well,
right?
no,
if I can't talk to you, you're going to be separated, right?
Yep.
That's what happened at the Tower of Babel. God was like, I'm not doing this shit again. Pya. And this is the first time in history since that moment that everybody has spoken a universal language, and it's English. And English was a created language. It's not even a real English. It's some spell language that didn't even exist until, you know what I mean? The proper English created it. It's a
Hi, Jackie from Saskatoon. Nice to have you on.
Running back to Saskatoon. Sorry.
Yeah. Wow, your head must really be hurting tonight, Adrian.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie, gentlemen. If today were a cupcake, it would be a shit-filled cupcake with arsenic sprinkled. That has been my day. I was so excited when I got the message to come and hang out with you guys, and like honestly, like 20 minutes, half hour before we were ready to go, I got a horrible migraine. And my first thing to go is my light sensitivity and my small
I can tell.
And I love talking to you guys so much. Like, so honestly, please like take this as a grand compliment, because I don't do shit normally when I have a migraine, but
can you dim your lights a little bit?
You can turn your light off.
Put sunglasses on. Here.
No, go ahead. Yeah,
mine.
Oh my God, I'm dying. I'll be back in a second.
Do it. I can tell, because she's keeping her eyes half closed.
Well, she's gone here, George. Let's see. We'll put this album a little bit more here. Let me see if we can.
We did it already.
We've done it.
Oh,
Sandra guessed it.
Where have you been?
Holy
crap!
My bad. Never mind.
So
look at I just wasted the time. She's back.
Remember, you have to give your puppy away as a surprise.
No, that just does not happen. No.
So while Adrian
you
takes
my left
a
nut,
little
you're not having my puppy.
brain break.
Hi, guys.
Heiko,
Still Christmassy still.
So do you have any interesting background on any phrases or words? Like
actually, you know what? I do. You guys know the saying, butter them up, or you got to go butter somebody up?
Yeah.
You know? You ever heard that saying?
Honey on a biscuit?
No, not honey and a biscuit. When you got to butter somebody up. Go butter them up.
Yeah, butter them up.
Right? Is that to do with turkey?
No, that's where you're...
I understand. I understand the butter. I understand the statement, trying to butter somebody up.
Yeah.
But is that in reference to like a turkey? Like you got to
No, not at all.
Okay.
It comes from ancient India, believe it or not. And what they used to do is they had statues of their gods. And they would get butter and throw it in balls, and they would whip it at the statues. And they did that for forgiveness. And what did I say? For
people I want to forgive.
For favors and stuff like that. That was done way back in ancient India.
So
So that's what they said, butter me up, for forgiveness. You're talking somebody up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or for favors, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's where it came from.
Heiko, I've got one for you. You know when you say it's going to cost you an arm and a leg?
Uh-huh.
Do you know where that comes from?
Monty Python, getting over the bridge.
It comes from pretty close, maybe, but it comes from the days when there were portrait paintings, right? Yeah. And the cheapest kind of portrait, or the least expensive, was Head and Shoulders. And artists that used to do these paintings, if you wanted more than that, if you wanted your arm, like the top half of your body, it would cost you more. And if you wanted legs, it'd cost you even more.
So a full portrait would cost you an arm and a leg.
An arm and a leg. Yeah, that's where that came from.
That's awesome.
Did you know that Adrian's a painter?
I know she's an artist.
Yes. So she paints. She's got some actually kind of pretty neat stabby stuff.
Yeah.
I'll let her tell you how she paints.
Right on.
I paint with butcher knives. I dance around flailing knives and cut. Yeah. Before.
So do you actually cut stuff with the knives, or do you put paint on the knives?
I was a cook for 15 years, and I had all these knives, and then I woke up one day and I'm like, I'm not cooking for nobody no more. nuts to this. I had a whole bunch of knives, and I got really stoned one day, and one thing led to another, and knife painting Adrian was born.
So explain knife painting. I don't get it.
Okay, so I like to paint music. So just say there's like a concert, which was kind of like my favorite thing on earth once upon a time. I would paint the sound of music abstract, but I wouldn't use my brushes. I would use a selection of knives.
So what's your canvas?
Canvas.
What's your canvas? What are you putting your art on?
Canvas.
Canvas. I'm that good with a knife that I can flail it on across a canvas and not cut it.
Wow.
I've yet to cut a canvas.
Really?
I've done probably close to 1,000 knife paintings now. Yeah.
Well, the next time we have you on, maybe you should have some that you can show us, or pictures of them that you can show us, so we know what your art's all about. That would be very cool.
I'm down. I used to, like, right before this whole COVID thing, I was just getting back into hosting shows and get my groove on with the paint and the knives. And then the last concert I did actually was they said it was ground zero hotspot for the COVID. And I was like, so you mean a bunch of people got the flu? That's a shame.
Yeah.
And then the world shut down for like 3 years, and it's been fun. It's been fun watching society collapse in real time. It's been a kick.
Yeah.
Hey, you only get to live through it once, right?
Hopefully. I don't want to do this shit again. I'll tell you, if they say friggin' you want to go back into another tour, no, thank you.
Well, I was talking with some guys recently, and I was saying, like, what do you think's going to happen with the music? And it's like, some guys were vaxxed, some people weren't, and it's like it's going to probably go back to the underground again. It's going to be back in our day, the raves where you can meet here and find out where the party is tonight. You know what I mean? You go somewhere in the middle of, Butterfall or whatever. I can't remember. Sorry, Mel. Roblin, Butterfalls, Ontario, and the middle of nowhere and playing a party there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
See, there was a malicious reason to stop the gatherings at pubs and bars for music, because that's where the revolutions were all decided, was in pubs.
Yes. And a lot of the planning of stuff was done in pubs.
Yeah, let's go have a beer and take over the world.
And that's why our government doesn't want us in pubs, because that's where we talk about going after all the nonsense that's happening out there.
Exactly.
Imagine that.
It's all
middle class.
It's all connected. Like, same thing with, you got to understand, like, the music industry. A lot of it right now is going to crumble. You guys in the next couple of weeks have no idea. You guys are going to hear some sick shit. You know what I mean? The music industry and Hollywood literally eat children. And this is going to be mainstream information very soon. I've seen, you know what I mean? I told you before, you know what I mean? I don't believe everything that I see.
Pizzagate? Is that what you're talking about?
Pizzagate, Frazzle Drip, all of that stuff is 100% true. The media made it look like it's complete and utter bullshit. But I'm telling you, gentlemen, I seen one section of the Frazzle Drip video, and I have not slept properly since, and that's going back to like 2014, 2015, around there. Chris Cornell did a song about, their mouths full, their plates, but I'm going hungry. He spoke out about what was going on. Him and Chester Barrington both spoke out about what was going on in Hollywood with the elites and all of that. And
Hunger Strike.
That's where that song's from.
That was Temple of the Dog. Yeah.
So what's it called? Frazzle Drip? What?
Frazzle Drip.
Frazzle Drip.
The best advice that I can give anybody is you guys want to know what's actually going on right now? Screw Google, because you're not going to learn anything there. There's a search engine called Yandex, Yandax, Yandex. They will tell you everything that you need to know about everything. You got to understand, Google, YouTube, and 23andMe are all owned by the exact same family. Okay?
Exactly.
So you have a monopoly on information. You have a monopoly on not just visual information, audio information, now your ability to be able to look up facts and who you are. All of your DNA, all of your lineage, who you represent is all controlled by one family, and the world doesn't seem to think anything's wrong with that. You're not going to find any freaking legitimate answers in a controlled one. And Yandex is not controlled by, people that vested interest in, anything that isn't the truth. Mm-hmm. For a long time, I was using DuckDuckGo until I found out that DuckDuckGo was sending all of your information to Google Chrome. So you know what I mean? Like, how do you have the ability to be able to be like, okay, I'm legitimate research into this, I'm looking at this, and they put you in a freaking echo chamber. Mm-hmm. If it was not for Cappy, God bless Isaac Cappy. Isaac Cappy was the one that got a bunch of us to start using Yandex with the whole Tom Hanks thing when that broke. I'm telling you, like, it sounds absolutely crazy.
So that
it is, but it's true.
The whatever it is, Frazzle Drip. I would not recommend going to that. It's pretty, it's not
it's not for kids.
It's not at all. It's not even for adults, but
but that is what the leaders are doing.
This is where we've talked about reptilians, we've talked about cannibalism, all of that stuff, right? Which you're kind of alluding to that now, but it seems.
Oh, I'm not alluding to. They eat babies.
Yeah. Well,
I'm there. There's no tiptoeing around it. This is the time for brass tacks. Like, there are legitimate people in power that are eating other humans. They're hunting them for sport. They're torturing them so they can produce adrenochrome and get high. And I get so tired of sometimes people are so dismissive when it comes to this shit, but they talk about there's government files for adrenochrome. They've known about this stuff for the longest time, and it all is all part and parcel together, all of it. Watergate, Frazzle Drip, Obamagate, all of it is all about pedophiles and people eating other people. There,
cannibalism.
Hillary, please, friggin', I did not suicide myself. Just putting that out there. I love my life. Though my freaking head is pounding. If anything ever happens to me, it was not from me. Okay.
Well, cheers to that. Oh, hang on, George. Can you help us with this? I think everybody needs a drink. Let's play our song.
Yes, just want to play.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
One banana, two banana, three banana, four.
I just have to go in the fridge.
So Adrian, look that up one day when we're off the air. Look up the Banana Splits. That's the theme song of that we just played. I used to watch that when I was a little kid. The Banana Splits.
So what it was these guys, Banana Splits, Inky, Dinky, Winky, and Pinky, and they basically do stupid little shit, and then hey, watch a cartoon. Here's Rocket Robin Hood.
Oh, I remember that.
Yep,
Guys,
that's what that was.
Yeah, well, Heiko's a little older than you. I don't remember it.
You don't remember Robin Hood?
No,
Oh
no,
my
I
God.
do. I remember Rock and Robin Hood, but I don't remember the original run. These guys are like the first time around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What did you guys think of that show with the puppets and the friggin' no. The space puppets. They're all marionettes.
Uh-huh. Oh, the Thunderbirds.
Yes, yes.
It's actually, I follow them on Facebook, believe it or not.
Are you serious?
The guy from Thunderbirds who wrote it, he actually has a webpage, and it's freaking amazing. I used to love the Thunderbirds.
I used to watch that with my pops.
Yeah?
And Rocket Robin Hood, and what was the other one? I can't think now.
Hercules.
Oh, Hercules, yeah. Come on,
Yeah.
Hercules.
But see, then they came out with a movie. It was called Thunderbirds, and it was so freaking disappointing because it was normal actors. I was expecting the marionettes again, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but there's what's that show called? There is a movie, something Secret Police or something like that.
Team America?
Uncle?
Team America. That's it.
Yeah,
that's done like the Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
And what a great movie. But that's not for kids.
No, not at all. No. So just back to Richard's comment, it's a pretty wild collection of topics, really. And we had this last week when we were talking about flat Earth, and it tied. There's discussion about UFOs, secret societies, all of this stuff, and Adrian, you kind of. You talk about all of these things and some of the connection, but as someone who's trying to figure out who they are, right? You mentioned about, well, it could be the richest people in the world, right? But at some point, there's also discussion about aliens. So where do they exist in the quote food chain? Because it sounds like all of this other nasty stuff.
We're mining gold for the aliens.
Well,
I don't know, with the they, right, Ringo?
Yeah.
I've been ever since you said that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and get some names for they. All I can figure out so far is the 4 main investment groups, right? You got Vanguard, you got BlackRock, you got I can't even. Okay,
Rothschild.
No, it's not Rothschild, but they own everything. It's like, do you like Pepsi or Coke? Well, it doesn't matter. The same 4 companies own it, right?
Well, it's the illusion of choice, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
and those guys, they own everything. And do those guys own the media too? Right?
There's 6 families that own every single media empire. 6. We have not seen an unscripted piece of news in our lifetime ever. It has been propaganda for as long as there has been breaking news. There has been controlled propaganda. It's 11 o'clock. Where are your children?
But I think there's something interesting here. First of all, I believe the world needs a leader. Not a dictator, but a leader or a common leadership. And whether we vote year to year, who fucking cares about that? The democratic society, honestly, it's a fight, all the politics and everything, and gearing up for. What's disgusting right now is I've been watching the Liberal Party and how they're just slamming everybody who's in place now about their reactions to COVID, and that might be fine, but I'm still standing on the fact that the government reacted and not everything was perfect, right? But then it becomes a question of behind the scenes, did they know about the virus and all of that?
They need to help create it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really, I buy into the theory that it's created. It was created by maybe some kind of germ warfare.
Yeah,
But
but see, it's
Do you
not
guys
even
know
that
what
it's
backstory on that?
created. You have to understand, guys. It's not just a created virus. It's
no,
a
I know. But
business
when I hear
because in
this,
1999, COVID-19 was actually patented.
yeah,
In
yeah, no, I've seen it.
2003,
I've seen
all
it
the
on the back
detection
of cleaning
equipment
agents. Yeah,
is patented.
yeah,
Come
that's
on,
fine. So what? So they made it.
Yeah.
it's a business.
Guys, okay, you guys, do you guys know about Agenda 2021? Population
No,
control to decrease the population by 2030. The Georgia Guidestones touch on it, all that fun stuff. But if you look in 2017, they did a projection, world population projection,
right?
and they just happened to say that big, huge dip where billions of people fucking die. Sorry for swearing. But it was projected to happen between 2022 and 2030.
Uh-huh.
And then by 240, 241 or 242, we're supposed to have another war.
Well, see, you know what? Freaking all of it is all planned out. When you realize that Queen Elizabeth was funding Hitler, you know what I mean? Like, how can you really look at a war seriously when they are literally creating the wars to create conflict, to create the cash flow? It's literally like a bunch of spoiled assholes just playing chess with all of us. We're the chess pieces, and they're just like, oh, look, boom, 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 watch them fight. No, this is why if we as a people, you know what I mean, collectively pull our heads out of our asses, there are more of us than there are of them. We're literally waking up every day and being like, here, take my sovereignty. Take all my stuff, take all my God-given rights. The government is, masquerading like they're the ones in control. It's called God-given rights for a reason. The government is there, put in place, elected by the people to hold up the truths that the people are, you know what I mean, given. It's their fucking job to make sure that our rights are protected. That's why they get a paycheck. And everything has fallen at the wayside. You want to know why? Because people have lost their backbone. People have become so complacent. You want to know why? Because they put fluoride in the water and nobody gives a shit. So here's your freaking fluoride. Here's your Prozac. Here's your fucking metaverse with your headset. Go sit in front of it. Watch the world go, and nobody's going to do anything about anything.
Yeah.
And anybody that does, we get labeled fucking crazy conspiracy theorists.
Yeah. And see, I've done this so many times. I tell people, don't drink bottled water. And I said the worst thing in it is the fluoride. It goes straight to the brain. And you know what I get? I get a cow stare. Like, and then they go open a bottle of water. It's like nobody listens, nobody cares, but then they wonder why things are happening the way they are.
Yeah. One of the things that I was talking with somebody recently and about what we talk about, and they said what you should be worried about is if COVID was actually in the water system, right?
Yeah.
Or anything. He said that's when you got this other stuff we can deal with. This is a scientist talking.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I just want to pick your brains here because I have not watched news now since last February, so I can't really comment on some of the things you're talking about because I just don't. I hear little snippets.
It's
anything.
I have a different flushing toilet.
So I have a different perspective when I hear these snippets. But one of the things I have heard about is this latest asteroid that's going to pass us in 2022. Anyone got any thoughts on that?
The Empire State or State Building, the size of that one, supposed to create a gigantic tsunami. Tsunami is supposed to take out part of the states, parts of Canada. Nostradamus predicted it.
Yeah, but he's predicted lots of things. I mean, if you look at Nostradamus, how many times has he predicted that in different years? Then it's not happening.
Right.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Like, he predicted like different asteroids and stuff like that. A lot of his stuff has been taken out of context, so people would imply like a vent in the sky. Oh, there's going to be a thing that's going to fall. No, a vent in the sky could literally just be, you know, like how sometimes you see those weird wormhole things. The circles, the lights, any of that shit could be a freaking light in the sky, and some asshole's like, we're gonna get hit by asteroids. Cool. You know what? Good. Give them the directions to my house. I've had a real rough day. Look at this point. I'm just gonna go run it. If I see the asteroids coming, I'm not even gonna bring an umbrella. I'm not. I'm just gonna go.
Well, last week, David Weiss said meteors don't exist. There's something else, I think. I mean, it just reminded me there about saying another frigging asteroid. But I mean, like, you know, I thought, what did he base that on? That meteors don't exist.
Yeah, I mentioned seeing a shooting star, and he says they're not real.
Yeah, what he is referring to is dimensional angelic beings. If his stance is where it is, and I'm not going to pretend like I may know the guy that you guys talk to. I know a lot of people in the flat earth and Christian communities, and the especially the religious flat earth groups. But what he is referring to is entities coming through the atmosphere, not actually combustible rocks like they're talking about. And if you look in like the Bible and stuff like that,
I've never read the Bible.
No,
never read it. Never read it.
It's actually a good story.
It is a good story. That's why I've never read it. There's lots of other good stories that I could read.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I figure when every other major religion talks about the guy in this book, though, there's got to be something to it, because literally every religion touches on.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah, I'm not disputing that.
So there's got to be something there. You know what I mean? It's not just like, you know.
But they're all man-made, right?
I'm gonna trick the world.
All religions are man-made, surely, aren't they? You know what I mean?
It's like, exactly. Religion is man-made.
Get them.
Adrian, you have a voice for cartoons.
Huh?
You have a voice for cartoons.
Thank you. I get told I sound like a cartoon character.
That'd be freaking awesome.
So did obviously kicked in, gentlemen.
Yes. So did you ever look into that newspaper I told you about last time?
Which one?
Here, blow me up, boys. This one.
I didn't.
Remember? Druthers.
No, I'll be honest with you, I completely freaking got it.
If you wanna meet some new cool people and talk about some stories or read about some stuff, this newspaper you can sign up. They send you the copies all the time, called Druthers.
Yes, that's right.
Even if you see the headline on this, it's what Death by Lockdown.
Yeah.
And it's really, really interesting. So
I just want to make one.
Get our subscription, guys. They send it to you for nothing.
Before my brain implodes. Okay. Coronavirus. You got to understand. Do you guys know about Five Eyes?
Who?
Five Eyes.
No.
All right, so we're in a pickle, okay? So your government is not allowed to test on its citizens, but you can gang up with a bunch of other countries and each test on each other's citizens. So that's literally what's been going on for a long time. They created the coronavirus, okay? So the first initial batch of coronavirus was created here in Canada.
Yes, Trudeau. In Winnipeg.
Yes. And then he gave the live sample to China and then was like, here you go, China, go, here you go do it with that. China was like, thank you, we're going to take this, we're going to blast it with radiation, so that way the flu hits faster and harder with no incubation time. That's it. Look at me, I'm a modified flu. Releases it out onto the world. Now everybody's like, well, now they're going to hospitals. You want to know what you don't do with somebody with the flu? Put them on a respirator, because you're going to kill them.
Yeah.
But you want to know what happens? You get big government incentive money to stick people on respirators, to do all this shit. And you want to know what? They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about me. Dr. So-and-so does not care. He's looking at you like, I got 6 kids and I'm going to send them all to college. I don't care what happens to you. Cha-cha-cha-ching. That's it. That's it. It is a complex. They created this virus to shut us all up, because all the protesters were out all over the freaking world. The yellow vest movement, orange vest movement, all of this stuff was going on. And all of the protesters were like, oh, Q, there's pedophiles in the government. Stop. And then you go on the news, and even though you can read the protest signs that are clearly saying, stop the government pedophilia, they'd be like, so France is protesting gas prices today. Isn't that right, Charlie? Oh my God, yes. Look at that. Those crazy guys in France just burning down their city over gas prices. No. Did you see one picket sign that said anything about gas prices?
No.
It was all signs for pedophilia and stop the government corruption and child trafficking. So that's why they blasted us, because the government is the one that has been heavily involved in the child trafficking. They are the ones that allow it. Did you know that people classified as living art, they don't check that on boats, they don't check that on trains? Living art. So that's what these people have been doing. They've been tagging children and women that they've been trafficking around the freaking world as living art and then untouchable cargo. So they're getting past essentially, but they're getting past everything, and it's the governments that are responsible for this. And I know I sound like the dude from freaking King of the Hill, but I don't care, because Bill was right too.
Yeah. So Adrian, Richard's asking if the Masons have any involvement, and he's read or heard about the agenda that you were talking about earlier from a leaked email.
Masons hate me.
There were a lot of things on that agenda that were supposed to happen and haven't happened yet.
Right.
Okay, so with the whole Masonic cap on this, you got to understand, with the Masonic temple, their motto is order out of chaos. So when you see protests and you see piles of bricks on the street, that is brought to you by your local Mason representatives, hoping that you'll pick up that brick and smash the window. Oh, so that way they can throw their guys in, because they like to cause the problem and play the hero. So yeah, it's all part and parcel. And unfortunately, there's some people that join the Masons, and they're only allowed to go so far, because you want to know why? They're good-hearted people and they need frontmen, right? But then there's the other ones. Those are the ones that get moved into the upper echelons of Masonry, and those are the ones that practice all these different rites and the ceremonies. Like, I'm sorry, but like, any group that's like, hey, we're having a ceremony, okay, man, you got to marry this little boy, but it's just for pretend. What kind of group? What kind of group has weird ceremonies like that where they pretend to marry a little boy?
Yeah. So they're definitely a interesting organization, and I went to my aunt's funeral one time, and they had a Mason, I guess, that passed away, and anyway, we were kind of shuffled out of the building early, because when they do their funerals, they actually shut everyone else out. That's not a part of the Mason clan.
When you're an actual Mason, you shut everybody out that isn't a Mason. All of your friendships with non-Masons are superficial. Even your relationships with friends and family, like, The people that are dedicated Masons, and you're looking at all your positions of power, your judges, your cops. It's the way that it is. They have a rule where they will let off a fellow Mason. So just say a Mason does something bad to me, okay?
Yeah.
And I report it, and I go through all the proper steps, and you know what I mean, all of that. And then the police officer, who's also a Mason, is like, "Oh, my brother did this. Okay, whatever. No, but this didn't happen, and everything's dismissed. There's just simply not enough evidence or anything, or you're at fault. You're the one that caused this." They will never go after one of their fellow brothers. They won't. You ever see all of their secret little handy handshakes and they're, "Oh, look at me, I'm in the power." It's a quick way to figure them out. Friggin' Pence. Pence got paid off right in front of the world. They gave him his little Masonic coin.
Uh-oh. What happened?
I know. I heard a zap, and then maybe they zapped her. You talked about the Masons too much.
Yeah, it sounded like electrical current.
Well, we hope Adrian's.
Time's up anyway, right?
So, yeah. So, Heiko, bring us home.
Yeah.
And we'll connect.
Oh, my God.
With Adrian offline.
My friend is with me tonight. A little bottle of Fireball.
Ball of fire.
Oh, the old fire water. Yeah.
Oh, gotta have that.
Like Mr. Leahy when you said that.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
A little bottle of firewater right here.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my God, Adrian is so cool to have her on. Like, I've heard comments from people that have watched and said, you know, she's out there or she's right on the ball. It's.
Well, again, she's another one who's done some research.
She has done so much research, just like the flat Earth guy, and you know people got to realize there is more out there than we actually hear. And what we hear is not always the truth.
Right.
You know, it's just like people look up into space and go, "We're the only living beings in the entire universe." You're an idiot. Because you look up there, those are stars. Every star you see is like a sun. There's planets there's even a number. So you think we're the only ones out here? And this is the kind of thing that what Adrian and her people are trying to tell everybody. They're saying, look, all the stuff you see on the news, is that it? That's the truth? That's all there is? No, bullshit. There's a lot more behind that. And that's why those people, they're out there. They're trying to get the truth out. They're trying to give us some stuff to put in our brain and mull around. And that's why they're always getting shut down. You know, the Facebook police and YouTube police, everybody gets them.
You're absolutely right, Heiko, and it's probably just a good general disclaimer because these are opinions and they're not our opinions or show.
And that's why I say when I say something a little bit out there, I say it's my opinion. Yeah. And an opinion is just that. I'm not right, I'm not wrong. And neither are you. It's an opinion. It's data I've picked up and things I've listened to. I've mulled them around my brain, and I go, okay, this is what I think is going on. It's my opinion.
No, I appreciate that, but I think but you don't try and come across as it's facts. You're a qualified whatever to back it up.
No,
that's
I mean, what honestly though, George, like a nuclear physicist is going to tell us what exactly. I mean, I work in the engineering field. I'm very logical when it comes to thinking through stuff, but there are definitely things I think, I've been a ghost hunter, right? So how does that work with somebody who thinks, logically and, almost with a sort of a,
religiously
structure, right?
Yeah.
But when I got involved with that, it was to do the debunking, bring technology and try and understand it, try and further understand it. So I think the good thing is that when we get people like Adrian or Dave on, there's been others, but is you know what? We're a talk show. We want to keep an open mind. And, you know, we don't have to believe it. I think what's intriguing us now is this fact, or not fact, but this notion. And Heiko, you've said it many, many times. It didn't have to get prompted from a guest, but, you know, they are doing this. They are. So, you know, the quest to figure out who they are, I think is interesting, you know, because, you know, whether you look at it pragmatically and you say, okay, here are all the richest people in the world, or to Derek's point, who controls a lot of business. You can look at it that way, but it is a control element of control, right? You look at recently with the disclosure of alien aircraft or UAPs or whatever, that we've been, again, theorizing and, you know, creating all these conspiracy theories, and here you go, now it's been released, right? So we know that there's enough evidence to support that there is another intelligence or other beings. Like when Adrian said, you know, there are really two types of species at, you know, minimum, I guess, but you know, now the question is, do these alien crafts come from deep within the earth, or do they come from other planets, right? So there's again, it's right.
There's a lot of stuff out there, and nobody really knows. But we've had a lot of fantastic guests on our show, and we've had a few of them say, "Listen, again, this is my opinion. Don't believe exactly what I say. Go do your own research." What Adrian has done now.
Where did you research? Who did you talk to? Where do you go? But on that point, Adrian has stated there in the next couple of weeks that we're going to find about this eating baby stuff is going to come out, and we're all going to see it. So in 3 weeks from now, let's see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make note of that and see. Maybe it does happen. Right.
Well, you know what? Regardless of that, it's kind of a, you know, well, not kind of. It's an absolutely sick topic. I mean, but
it is.
You know,
really
this concept that, like, when she talks about slavery and all, you know, prostitution and all of that, and you know, that's fact. That's happening, right?
Yes.
And it even happens in other countries that don't. They're, you know, I'm not going to get into that deeply, but
I know it's
cultures who just, you know, treat women poorly, and that's just not, should never fly, you know, especially in Canada. I mean, shouldn't fly anywhere. I mean,
again, and this is where the issue is, right? You make an awesome point there, Ringo, but the East Indians have that culture, and they say the same thing about us. How dare you? How could you ever let women be equal and walk together with them? Right? So we are over here, they are over there.
Yeah. Well, to be clear, I wasn't pointing out them, but
chalk it up as an opinion.
There's just a lot of you know, a lot of differences in the world, which is fine, right?
Yes.
I think what's interesting about all of this is that, you know, when I look at someone like Elon Musk, all right, who you may or may not be a supporter, but, you know, he's got opinions and stuff like that. But it's, you know what? Hey, I'm focused on one thing. I want to die on Mars. That's it. That's his objective. And so all of the drama, all the politics, and I wonder, you know, this guy or somebody like this person, we need a leader. Like our politicians in Canada and US and everywhere else, I mean, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. They're figureheads at best. Yeah. But there's no united front whatsoever.
Well,
which kind of to me drives a lot of the, like, humans are we're programmed to go seek out truths, and we need to know what a path, right? And then as individuals, we have, we determine or try to determine our own path. But when there are holes in the story, or bad leadership or no leadership at all, then your mind goes to places that are, your creativity kicks in, whether it's negative or positive, right? And it just, I think it creates a lot of chaos, because then you get very convincing people that are telling you something, and if you as a person are trying to find yourself or find your own path, it's very easy to get distracted by people who are very influential, and they've done this back research, whether it's factual or whether it's a lot of BS, right? Well, Grace is saying here, is there any real leadership right now? And I don't think there's any leadership.
No. Well, and think about this just for a minute. And like you said, there are people who run the show. There are people who are leaders who are not really leaders. But if you can go out there, there's a lot of world history that's going on right now that we never, ever hear about on this side of the globe, because our system, our governments don't want us to hear that and see what's happening in other countries.
Yeah.
And again, we have in our country, in Canada, we have a puppet. We have somebody who's placed there, who's not in any way a politician or any way a leader of a country. He's an idiot who likes doing selfies with people, but he is the puppet. And the people that make the decisions tell him what to say, tell him what to do, and he is the little peon they use, because those people don't want to be exposed. They don't want to be known who they are, because now they're a target. If you have the opposition or the underground or the people that are against what they're saying, now they know who to go after.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that Trudeau is just a puppet. He's just
here's an interesting thought, right? Like,
so Heiko, that's your opinion, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
But here's something interesting to think about. When I used to ghost hunt, I would get people that, when I collected a lot of really cool evidence to support that there is something.
Right.
And I think we all kind of agree that we all have some belief in that realm.
Yeah.
But I've talked to some people who have been emphatically in denial, like, no, there aren't any ghosts, paranormal, whatever. But when I ask them, hey, you know what? You go to church, right? Yeah, we go every week. Well, what exactly are you doing? You're opening up a spiritual session. So if you don't believe in ghosts, then you don't believe in whatever your God is, right? So I've heard
they do believe in ghosts. That don't, certainly in the Catholic religion, there is a Holy Ghost part of the Trinity, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Thank you, George.
And you know what? And it's like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right? There's that extra reindeer called Olive the other reindeer. But but here's the interesting thing. And this kind of fuels me to find out who they are, because Adrian, for instance, is definitely a spiritual believer in it sounds like God, right? Whereas when she asked George about the Bible, have you read the Bible? And he's like,
Never.
It's a story, right? Right. But I don't know what your religion is or whatever, or if you have one at all. But it's
I have one, but it wasn't my choice. Put it that way, right?
I agree with that. You're born into it. But it doesn't mean you practice it, and it doesn't mean you'll gravitate to it in any way, right? Yeah. You can be agnostic. You can be. But what's interesting?
What happened to me? I was, brought up I wasn't really brought up Roman Catholic. I went to a Roman Catholic school. My parents didn't go to church, but I did from whatever age, right? And in England, the school system there was you get to 11, you take an exam called 11 plus, and then you'll either go to a grammar school or a secondary modern school. Yeah. And for various reasons, I ended up going to a non-Catholic school, being a Catholic, and I was like dissed by the parish priest. They came round and I was dissed by the nuns that had taught me the last year and all that.
Okay, my point though. My
point, let me finish.
I didn't finish my point. My point is, if you believe in God, right?
Yeah.
There aren't any fucking aliens, right?
Right.
This is what kind of drives me a bit crazy, because if you have a spiritual belief, okay, there aren't any aliens. There aren't any. The only people controlling you are that spirituality, right? So I don't get the mix sometimes when, there's reptiles, there's this and that, and there's aliens out there. Okay. So you kind of from a credibility, who cares about credibility? I mean, people, it's their opinions, right? What I'm trying to figure out is who are they, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I would say like that. I don't think there's one they. I think there's they. If there is a they. Yeah. I don't think it's so. Suddenly everything gets thrown into the same pot. Moon landing, COVID, everything goes into the same pot. Eating babies. So I don't think it's the same they that are doing everything.
It's all connected. When you sit with somebody who is big into conspiracy, and they will tell you, look how flat Earth is connected to this, how these people are connected to this, and it all works into one big thing.
And it's their opinion. And it's their opinion.
Yeah,
exactly. And it is
their opinion. And other people go, it's not flat, and that's their opinion.
That's right.
And George, this is the point I like to make about all this stuff, about COVID and religion and flat Earth and all that shit, right? Nobody knows if the Earth is flat or round or a sphere. Nobody knows. So and nobody knows if there's a God or Jesus or aliens and all this stuff. So what needs to happen, which has not happened, and maybe is being held back from the general public so nobody can ever find out, is somebody needs to fly that aircraft / spaceship off and out through the Earth's atmosphere and actually take footage of the giant fucking frisbee in space or the globe in space and send it back so everybody can see it and everybody can finally have proof, right? That aliens are here, the Earth is flat, the Earth is round, there is That's the thing. We don't have proof for fucking anything.
I got proof.
Of what?
The three of us, we're the fucking aliens.
Yes, we are.
You probably are. I'm the O negative.
Right.
So until that happens one day, that'll shut everybody up. And we won't have people thinking, oh, it's like this. No, it's like this.
So
we don't know.
What he's saying here, all right, so what he's saying here is like the pictures from the moon are fake, right?
The pictures from the moon
of the Earth are fake.
Well, to me, they are photographs that somebody has taken, right? Yeah. And for me, I kind of don't go with the flat Earth concept because the pictures of the moon only have the continent.
You say no one's been able to take a picture, so
there's
pictures that's purportedly somebody has taken, and you're saying they're fake, right?
Hey guys,
well, we don't know.
Yeah, right? It's 11:30 almost.
Yeah, we should wrap up.
I know we can go on forever.
I got to work tomorrow.
So,
see, we don't even know if those pictures are from the moon.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Right.
Well, we don't know if they've ever been out there.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got a great documentary, and it debunks completely that we've ever left our planet. We've never been on the moon, and that's why I asked the flat Earth guy. All the things we've left on the moon, all the lunar vehicles, the landing pads, all the shit that's up there, the flag, all that.
Though, right? It can actually get buried with the
but all that stuff cannot be all buried and gone. But why can't we see it?
Yeah.
We have super powerful telescopes. Why can't we see that shit on the moon?
Yeah.
Right? Like, come on. So we don't know. We don't know.
Right. More to come on it. I think.
Yeah. And we will figure everything out, people, and we will let you know right here on the Heikadelic Show.
That'll be interesting.
And figure out who they are.
We'll try anyway.
Yeah, we're going to work on that one too. Who are
All
they?
right, we'll do that. Public service. That's what we provide.
So, George, you got a good backside for us for next week?
Yeah, it's over there. Yeah, I'm gonna.
All right.
Yeah.
And give all the fans a plug for what happens tomorrow night.
We got the Atomic Ballroom coming back.
Yes,
hopefully,
you do.
I've got to prepare it. I've got nothing ready, but yeah, it's 7:30. Yeah, it's PM. See you then. Drop in and tune out. And in the meantime, stay positive and keep negative.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good one. Right.
Is that your opinion, George?
Oh, it's just my opinion. It's only my opinion. I'm not a qualified doctor, but
that's awesome.
Stay positive, keep negative, kids.
Yeah.
Ringo, Derek, you got anything to throw in there?
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Yeah, and we apologize if we've offended anybody or if we have topic.
The offend word is not a part of our show. If anyone's offended, don't watch our show. That's all there is.
There you go. You can make choices, right? You believe in aliens? Do you believe the Heikadelic Show is credible? But anyway, Happy New Year.
Yeah, we're just throwing stuff out there. It was so great having all you guys on. Adriana, if you're still out there, it was great having you on. We'll have you on again. We love your opinion as well.
Yeah.
And thank you for all the people that are part of our show tonight, which is Deborah, Melanie, Sandra, Kyle, Keisha, Grace, Kathy, Richard, Dwayne, Jackie, and Junior. You guys rock, and I hope you come back and visit us again next week, Monday night at 9:30, right here on the Heikadelic Show. Good night, everybody.
Well, that's another wrap for the Heikadelic Show, folks, so time to get dirty. And don't forget, listen in next week on Monday night and every Monday after that for the Heikadelic Show at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like more information on the Heikadelic Show, please find us at www.theheikedelicshow.com or .ca. We'll see you all next week on the Heikadelic Show. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor for the Heikadelic Show, it's easy. Just send us an email at info@theheikedelicshow.com. Meanwhile, you can browse our website at www.theheikedelicshow.com or .ca. Click on our sponsor tab and find out more information on sponsorships. Thanks for joining the Heikadelic Show, fans.